Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news. Alright, folks, buckle up because today's update is packed with some critical developments that could shape the Falcons' trajectory for the rest of the season. We've got a couple of major headlines that at first glance might seem like setbacks, but could actually turn into pivotal moments for Atlanta. And trust me, this story is still unfolding, so stay tuned because every detail counts. First, let's talk about the recent injury blow that has everyone's heads turning, especially among Falcons fans. During a rigorous practice session, the team's offensive line took a hit when Kaleb McGary, one of their most reliable and key offensive linemen, suffered an injury. Now, just to clarify, the specifics of the injury haven't been fully disclosed, but the initial reports indicate that it's serious enough to raise concerns about his availability in upcoming games. The fact that this happened during a practice, a time usually reserved for fine-tuning and strategizing, makes it all the more impactful. Kaleb McGary has been a cornerstone of the Falcons' offensive line, a player who has shown resilience and growth over the past seasons. His presence on the right tackle spot has been crucial for protecting the quarterback and creating running lanes for the running backs. Losing such a player temporarily or even long-term is not just a small setback. It's a challenge that tests the depth and resilience of the entire offensive line, as well as the team's overall game plan. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Injuries are part of football, right? But when it involves a player like McGary, who has become integral to the Falcons' offensive machinery, it simply raises the stakes. The coaching staff and front office are now faced with some difficult questions. Do they look internally to fill that spot? Do they consider a trade? Or perhaps bring in someone from the free agent market? All these options are on the table, and the pressure to find a quick solution is mounting because, in the NFL, timing is everything. From a strategic perspective, this injury couldn't come at a worse time. The Falcons are in the thick of their season, with games becoming more intense and divisional rivalries heating up. Every win counts, and the margin for error is razor-thin. The NFC South, as many of you know, is one of the most competitive divisions in the league this year. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New Orleans Saints, and Carolina Panthers are all vying fiercely for supremacy, and the Falcons want to stay in the hunt. With McGary out or limited, the pressure on other offensive linemen increases. Players like Jake Matthews and Chris Lindstrom will have to step up even more, providing leadership and maintaining the protection that the offense needs. But beyond just the offensive line, this situation also puts a spotlight on the team's depth chart. Are their backups ready to step in seamlessly? Will the Falcons look outside the organization for reinforcements? These questions are top of mind as the team's medical staff works tirelessly to assess McGary's condition and determine the best course of action moving forward. But it's not just the injury that's causing worry. The Falcons, as a team, are navigating through a complex web of challenges this season. One of the ongoing concerns has been the depth at wide receiver. While the team has talented players, the need for additional options is clear. The coaches are actively exploring opportunities to bring in new wide receivers, whether through trades, signings, or even promoting from within the roster. The idea is to ensure that the offensive weapons are plentiful and varied enough to keep defenses guessing, and to give quarterback Desmond Ridder the support he needs to execute the offense effectively. Speaking of Ridder, he's been steadily improving this season, showing flashes of potential that excite fans and analysts alike. His arm strength, decision-making, and leadership qualities are promising, but like any young quarterback, consistency is the key. With the offensive line facing hurdles and the receiving core looking for reinforcements, Ridder's ability to stay calm under pressure and make smart throws will be more important than ever. The Falcons' offensive scheme is built around a balanced attack, but that balance is only sustainable if the protection holds and the receivers can create separation. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on how the Falcons have been performing overall this season. They started the year with a lot of optimism, especially after a promising draft class and some solid free agent signings. The team's defense has shown resilience, with some impressive plays from players like Grady Jarrett, who continues to be a disruptive force. Offensively, the team has been gradually finding its rhythm, but inconsistency at certain positions, particularly on the offensive line and in the receiver core, has been a challenge. Despite these obstacles, the team's coaching staff has remained optimistic. Head coach Arthur Smith is known for his resilience and ability to adapt, and it's clear that he's pushing his players to stay focused and keep fighting. The Falcons have a talented roster, and even with the injury to McGarry, there's a belief within the organization that they can overcome these hurdles. This season, more than ever, it's about resilience, depth, and the ability to adapt on the fly. Looking ahead, the Falcons have some critical matchups coming up. These games will test their resilience and strategic depth. Their ability to adjust to injuries and fill gaps with players who are ready to step up will be essential. Every game is a new opportunity to prove that they can overcome adversity and stay competitive in one of the league's toughest divisions. The NFC South is a battleground, and the Falcons know that every win, every play, and every effort counts. But let's not forget the fans. The support from the Atlanta faithful is unwavering. The energy they bring to the dome, the chants, the cheers, these are what fuel the team. It's that collective passion that keeps the players motivated, especially when facing tough times. The Falcons have a rich history of overcoming adversity, and this season is no different. They've faced setbacks before, and with a resilient attitude, they've always managed to bounce back stronger. Now, I want to talk a little about the impact of this injury beyond just the immediate games. It's a reminder of how fragile success can be in the NFL. One injury can shift the entire dynamic of a team's season. It underscores the importance of depth, strategic planning, and the ability to adapt quickly. The Falcons are now in a position where they need to lean on their coaching staff's ingenuity and the collective effort of the roster to keep their playoff hopes alive. This season is shaping up to be a true test of character and resilience. And what about the division rivals? Well, with the Falcons potentially missing a key piece like McGarry, other teams might see a window of opportunity opening. But that's the beauty of the NFL. Nothing is set in stone until the final whistle. The Falcons have shown flashes of brilliance this season, and with some reinforcements, they can still be a force to be reckoned with. The next few weeks will be crucial in determining whether they can close the gap and keep pace with their division rivals, or if these injuries will prove to be too much of a hurdle. Throughout the season, the Falcons have also been working on their identity. Are they a team that relies on a strong running game, or are they more dependent on their passing attack? Right now, it seems like they're trying to strike a balance, but injuries can tilt that balance and force adjustments. The coaching staff's ability to reconfigure the game plan to make the most of their available personnel will be vital. It's about doing more with less, at least temporarily, and turning adversity into an opportunity for growth. In the broader context, Atlanta's franchise has always been known for its resilience and fighting spirit. From the days of the Super Bowl heartbreak to recent seasons of rebuilding and resurgence, Falcons fans have endured ups and downs. This injury, while disheartening, isn't the end of the road. It's a chapter in a larger story of perseverance. The team has the talent, the leadership, and the drive to come out stronger. The key is how they respond in the next few games. Will they rally around each other? Will other players step up and fill the void? That's what everyone is watching right now. And let's not forget the importance of the coaching staff in this scenario. Arthur Smith has been praised for his ability to motivate and get the most out of his players, especially in tough situations. His experience and strategic mind will be tested in the coming weeks as he navigates through these injuries and roster adjustments. The staff's game plans will need to be flexible, and the team's mental toughness will be put to the test. It's moments like these that define a team's character, and Atlanta's history shows they're capable of overcoming even the most daunting challenges. Meanwhile, the front office is also busy behind the scenes. They're constantly evaluating options, whether it's scouting free agents, considering trade opportunities, or promoting from within the roster. Every decision made now could have long-term implications, not just for this season but for the future of the franchise. The goal remains clear: to keep the Falcons competitive and to give themselves the best shot at contending for the playoffs, and ultimately, a deep playoff run. As fans, it's natural to feel anxious or frustrated with setbacks like these. But I urge you all to keep the faith. The NFL is a league of resilience and surprises. The Falcons have shown they can adapt, and with the right mindset and effort, they can turn these obstacles into stepping stones. Remember, every team faces adversity at some point. It's how they respond that defines their season. The Falcons have a dedicated coaching staff, talented players, and a passionate fan base that believes in their potential. That's a powerful combination, and it's what will drive them forward. Now, as we look ahead, keep an eye on how the team responds to this injury. Watch how players like Jake Matthews and Chris Lindstrom step up in the absence or limited presence of McGarry. Notice how the coaching staff adjust their game plan to maximize what they have. Pay attention to the team's effort, resilience, and unity. These are the qualities that can turn a tough season into a memorable one. And of course, stay tuned for updates. The Falcons' medical team is working tirelessly, and we'll know more about McGarry's recovery prospects soon. The front office is exploring options for wide receivers, and we might see some movement in the coming days. This is a dynamic situation, and every piece of news adds to the bigger picture of what the Falcons are building this season. Before I wrap up, let me just say that despite the setbacks, the spirit of Atlanta Falcons football remains strong. This team has a history of fighting back, of turning adversity into opportunity. The fans' unwavering support is a testament to that spirit. So even if the road ahead is challenging, remember that the Falcons' journey is far from over. We've seen teams bounce back from injuries, from tough losses, and from seemingly insurmountable odds. It's all part of the game, and it's what makes football so exciting. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Atlanta Falcons. Do you believe this injury will be a setback or a rallying point? Who do you think should step up in McGarry's absence? Let us know. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. Remember to subscribe, share this video with your fellow fans, and keep that passion alive. We're in this together, and the best is yet to come for the Falcons. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Falcons!